So I'm Kyle Humphrey. I am the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at WEA Trust. I met Bob back in August. He was brought on to work with our executive team and institute a MORT process with our executive team. And then the month after that, after we started the engagement, Bob was actually additionally brought on to start a SORP process, or Sales Operational Review process, with us. And so he worked with the sales team. So when I took over the sales team, I described the team as not necessarily in a great place, had not been meeting goals for the company, had not met goals for many years. It was a team that lacked confidence. It was a team that wasn't necessarily holding themselves accountable, and it was a team that I think was lacking in some of the skills that we as a company needed to succeed. I mention those because those were big pieces of our SORP program. Bob helped us with the sales process. He helped us with sales tools and also helped us with sales technique. So all of those were key components of our monthly SORP meetings. Bob really challenged the team to take accountability and to view sales as a craft that they could exercise and get better at. As a result, the team now that we have, 9 months or so later, is one that I would say is growing rapidly. Their confidence is higher than I've seen it in a basically since I've been here. A team that, more importantly, is very accountable. We're really in a position now where we're poised for great growth. I was really excited for Bob's program and Bob's guidance on was an approach he calls total cost, which really is designed to help break out of the commodity. Price is king, and it's a great way to then sort of combat the price that you're putting on the table so that you don't always have to be the lowest priced option to win the business. We've had a lot of success using that approach. Specifically, I think it's caused our folks to approach the sales process in a very different way. So it took some time and it took a lot of practice for them to get comfortable with that, and mostly comfortable having the conversation of getting to the pain. We were able to retain, specifically in a corridor of business that was under pretty aggressive competition. At the beginning of our year, we had roughly 10 clients sitting within this corridor, all of which were being aggressively price attacked, essentially, by competition. And we actually were able to retain 8 of those 10, where I would have said probably 2 of 10 were likely at the beginning of the year. Made use of deal sheet to create greater transparency of the proposals that we were sending out. We had a sales finalist presentation, so basically when we were at the final decision-making stage with a prospect, we had a presentation that we would take out, fairly templated, looked very much like everybody else's in the industry. We actually brought Bob in for a special session just to work with a cross-departmental group to refine that sales presentation. That Bob got us to think more in terms of what does the customer want, what does the customer need out of this, versus what it is that we provide. That was a really big win for us to be able to differentiate ourselves at that stage in the sales process. If you don't have a limitless market, then the close rate becomes paramount in terms of your success. The sales cycle before I took over, we had actually finished the year at about an 8% close rate. Through the SORP sessions, and specifically through the total cost approach and the tools and the way that we were approaching the marketplace, we put a heavy emphasis on improving that close ratio as the quickest and most important way for us to hit our goals. And the exciting development for us was that within that one sales cycle, so a 6-month period of time, we actually upped our close rate to close to 23%. So nearly tripled it from the previous sales cycle. One of the things that we certainly had to do was make a pretty heavy investment in this process, and by that I mean we brought together not just our sales staff, but our marketing staff, the folks who price our product, and I had to bring them all into a room, one day, full day out of a month, so we were taking people out of production. There's an opportunity cost to that. Certainly there's a time cost to that. So it was a pretty heavy commitment on our part to do that. And I would say unequivocally it was very much worth that investment. I think the ROI from that is going to be really high. Without him coming in and working through the SORP sessions, I don't know that we would have got here at the end, but I'm positive we would not have got here as quickly as we did. It would have taken us, I think, maybe years, and certainly there would be a lot of false starts in there. Bob was able to cut through a lot of the sort of wasted, useless kinds of things that impede a lot of organizational progress, and help us identify the real core things that we needed to solve, and then really push the team to solve those issues. I personally, throughout my career, have been involved with a number of different consultants. Bob is different in that his approach is it's very simple yet effective, and his style is one that requires accountability, making it about business, right? It wasn't a personal thing. It wasn't attacks on people. It wasn't trying to spare feelings of people. It was really very much about, if something's not working, let's fix it. I attribute fast pace, fast improvement to that. And I also think that it helped our culture, so that once our engagement with Bob was done, we were able to carry those lessons on. I would say to anybody who is needing to work through sales improvement, perhaps correcting underperformance, identifying where the sales process is not working to the benefit of the organization, I'd highly recommend Bob to come in and run the SORP sessions that he ran with us. He really gets to the heart of it. He definitely is talented at identifying where gaps are. He's got a great global knowledge, regardless of industry. I'd highly recommend him for that. He has an approach that's very engaging, challenging to some people, but in a very appropriate way if you want to get results in a quick time.